Now we move on to Ashish Vidyarthi. Many of us know Ashish Vidyarthi as a national award-winning actor. He is, of course, he has had, still has an extraordinary acting career. But the other aspect, the other brilliance that has, let's say, he has nurtured over the years is his ability to be a motivational speaker. Right now, he has this group, this company called the Avid Miner, under the aegis of which he does this extraordinary motivational speaking. There are several modules, and each of them help not only individuals but organizations to reconnect with their true selves, with their true stories. We welcome Sri Ashish Vidyarthi.
Namaskar. Welcome all. For me, a conversation is a discovery. Today, I will be engaging in a conversation of discovery. Why do we engage in conversation in the first place? When we have gatherings like this, it's an opportunity for us to discover something else other than what is there in the realm around us. Discovery is something which brings a power to our life. It adds nuances which till now probably lay hidden for us. Discovery is also a very personal thing. It's to do with me. Me. It's to do with that me who's sitting there. So my invite right at the beginning of this conversation is, if I can draw this conversation towards me. So I can listen to any conversation from a zone called, let's see, or I may listen to a conversation from a point called, let's see. I leave it to you to choose where you want to be. Success. Interesting conversation around success. Have you ever considered that success is solely for me? You want success. I want success. And yet it gives us pain. It gives me pain. It gives you pain. The want for it. The ever more of it. Something else. Something more. If only. Success is something we are geared for. For if we are not, we are told that we are not geared for success. We don't like it. We love to be known for being somebody who drives for, seeks. Is not just sitting down. Is doing something with life, wanting something. Success. This conversation is about actually checking. What is it that we strive for so much, which also gives us pain, restlessness, unhappiness? It gives us victory, but much before that, it gives us anxiety. Will I get it? Has someone else gotten it? Have they gotten more than what they deserve? Will that mean that I will get less than what I deserve? I already have less. I am enacting experiences that you and I as human beings go through. Let this be a personal journey. As I invite you to this personal journey, I want to share an experience with you. I grew up in Delhi I was born to a Bengali mother who was born in Rajasthan. Her name, Reba Vidyarthi. And my father, Govind Vidyarthi. He was born in Kerala. They both met in Delhi, married, and in the year 65 I was born. And as I grew up in that family, in that family in which there were two loving, much older parents than the parents that I saw around me, I experienced love. And I also saw that we had a few things and then didn't have a few others. I recall that my father would, we used to stay in Karol Bagh when I was an absolute child, until about 10 years of age. And while staying in Karol Bagh, Joshi Lane, as we used to walk down to the taxi stand and as we would taxi to Baba's office, which was at Sangeet Academy, Baba used to have a conversation with the driver off and on, and he would say that he wanted to buy a Morris Minor. A second-hand Morris Minor is what Baba aspired to buy. 35,000 is what it would have cost then. We didn't have it. We never bought a Morris Minor. For me, life began as I saw around me my parents living with what they had, but with a lot of happiness. My father was at the Sangeet Natak Academy. My mother was teaching at the Kathak Kendra. And I saw a lot of happiness. We had a small house, rented place, a lot of happiness, a lot of happiness. And then I started growing up and I realized that I need to take care of my parents. They will retire soon, and which they did. And I said that I had to do something for them. I was deeply interested in sciences, but I found that math wasn't my friend. I really wanted to, but it didn't add up. And so I chose history as I went into college. But I wanted to be an actor, and more importantly, I wanted to be successful. Because I remember I had once asked Ma, I said, Ma, what can I do for you when I grow up? By that time, Ma had nearly retired. In fact, she was taking extensions just so that she can keep working till I started earning. And she said, Ashish, when I come back from office, if I can get a warm meal, that'd be lovely. She was dreaming of a future, and she's much more older, but she would still be going to office. But coming back from home, she wanted a warm meal. I knew at that point that I didn't have the wherewithal. Unless I had the wherewithal to manage that for my mother. My journey had begun to become successful, to fulfill something which was very close to me, very dear to me. So even before me wanting to be known by the world, there was the urge to fulfill something which was very dear and close to me. Isn't it true for you too, dear friend? It all begins with what is dear to you, what is primal to you, what moves you. Success is about me. It is about that me. We do not want to admit it though, because it doesn't sound good. Why? Am I talking about me? I should talk about the world. No. It begins with me. So let's look at how can this quest for me, how can we make that a rich one? A rich in its widest sense, in its latitude, in its depth, in its vastness. This conversation is about life, real life, where bills need to be paid, where aspirations need to be fulfilled, where passion needs to be fulfilled. This conversation is a conversation of hope, because hope allows me to move out and strive for that which isn't there around me at this very moment. And yet, as I stride out of my home, my loving home, which has got a lot less, but a lot of happiness, as I stride out to get more, I encounter pain. I encounter disappointment. I encounter defeat. I also encounter unfairness of life. I miss the hug of my mother, just the ability to hold my father. The outside is not known, is not as kind and benevolent as that which I have left to gain more. Welcome to real life. So some years back, I discovered that essentially in this stride out, for me, it is about partnering with all that is around me. Because at home, I had partnerships which I could count on. I was born into that partnership of the parent. But outside, I have to develop partnerships. I realized many years back as an only child that I didn't like being lonely. Oh, I didn't like it. I love to be with people. And guess what? I was only and lonely too. I remember how many Wimbledons I won, how many football World Cups I won just by imagining it in the afternoons when I was alone at home. When Ma came back in the evening, there would be ball marks on the wall to tell her that her son had dreamt. This conversation is about your and my dreams, my friend, which we began seeing when we were children. And hopefully we continue to think and see even now, because I do. This conversation is about not belittling our dreams, but to discover ways in how this search of fulfillment of our dreams can be fruitful in all senses. So if it is about my story, how about making it a rich one? How about making it one in which I'm fulfilled from day one? Yeah, it's a utopian conversation. Yeah. It doesn't hold water, because what people around say is that, "Are achieve karo, then you will get the fruits of it." The fruits of labor are there at the end of it. The fruits of that thing are there. I love to disrupt conversations. I love to disrupt agreements. I'm welcoming you today, my friend, to engage with me in a conversation in which we discover some things en route. Consider for a moment, success has been understood as something which I have to reach, I have to achieve one day, one day, one day. And therefore there's a weight, and there are things happening. And even as I'm en route, I'm seeing others achieving things. There are tales, and you and I have experienced it. Even though we may not have received it, we may not have gotten something, but it's even more painful when somebody else gets it, right? It's success, my friend. Success that I wanted, somebody's gotten before me. Oh, I've done nothing to get that pain. Somebody else has strived for giving me pain. What is it about success that much before I get it, it promises to give me a lot of pain? It promises to give me a lot of jealousy. It gives me a feeling of I'm a loser. It reduces my present line in anticipation of a larger one, which could be possible. Success has become the bad word because success has been defined by the killer spirit. I will do it. I will do it at any cost. I will. It's to do with hardening of the jawline, steeling of the resolve, getting a killing cutting edge. En route, not a pain. Because the fruits are only going to be there at the end of it. So stride on, do more, do more, do more. Whip yourself, whip others. Harshness abounds. It is as if once successful, I will become benevolent. It is as if we are all waiting for our Kalinga, for us to understand that it's not worth it. I am a dreamer. In the midst of a world where success counts, I'm loving my journey as I journey on paths which are closer to me, closer to my dreams. In fact, closer to what happiness I experienced when I grew up as a child. So the person who's speaking to you right now is Govind and Reba Vidyarthi's son, Betu, for them. Ashish for you. And who I am inviting to join me in this journey is that you who are inspired by happiness in the first place. And then they said, to have happiness, you need to be successful. Let's face it, if it is at the end of the road, it's a bit like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Keep moving. How will it be if I can replace that end of the road with en route? How will it be if I can see for myself something which allows me to win each day? How will it be if I can be nurturing to myself? How will it be if I can actually feel that this day has added to me, even though I haven't reached that? A dear friend had written a very beautiful poem on North Bengal years back. He had spoken of poverty, and he said that I've seen such poverty. I've seen people with hardly any clothes, hardly any food, hardly anything that you can call home. They're so poor, they don't have good food, they don't have good clothes, they don't have good homes. They're so poor, they don't even have greed in their eyes. You and I have met such people all over the world. I have met people with far less than I can ever imagine, and I have seen them with happiness. I've been worried and angry with the world en route. And I've met people who probably you wouldn't even know. Even I don't know their names, but I've seen happiness. I've seen them playing with their kids and their families and walking hand in hand on dusty roads. Oh, yes, I have seen them. I've seen them walking together, looking for the next meal, but walking together. I've seen them caring for each other, not through flowers, but being there with each other, working hard, toiling. I remember Saeed Mirza once shared a very interesting anecdote with me about Bombay. I had just moved to Bombay. In fact, I'd moved to Bombay and I had lost the film because of which I had moved to Bombay. That film was Kutte Ki Maut. And it was a film to be made by Saeed. And I used to be visiting him, and that film wasn't to be made. And he once told me that, Ashish, this will not be made. I experienced a lot of pain. After all, I'd come to Bombay to make that film. I began my journey with a shattered dream. I began my journey with an unsuccessful attempt. And that day, he told me an interesting one. He said, how do you find Bombay? I said, I like it. He said, do you like the smell? I thought I didn't hear him. I said, what, Saeed? He said, badbu aati hai. Do you smell it? I didn't know what to answer, but I still said, yes, I do smell a stench. And he said, that's the stench of a hard-working person's perspiration. Right at the beginning of my career in 92, I saw hope in that conversation. I knew that places where people strive for, there is perspiration. I discovered over the years, as I moved as an actor, a whole lot of films that I did was as the antagonist. Part of the script was me being beaten up in pretty hostile conditions, rocky places, especially with a lot of dust and smoke. Amazing mix for someone who is asthmatic, but welcome to real life. But I discovered that this journey, I better make it interesting, because if I'm waiting for success, for me to have peace of mind, it's not happening. I've been a greedy person. I've been somebody who's wanting to do my thing and yet have the beautiful happiness that I saw with my parents in their anonymity, in their frugality, in their enoughness of what was around them. I've always strived to discover the travel in life which I had seen in my parents. I've actually been living a life which is far distant, for far distant reasons than there are obvious. Consider this conversation is about the inner journey that you and I have. A journey which is not seen by the world. Success is visible to the outside. I will tell you if you are successful or not. In fact, I will mention, wow. Really? See that? Wow. How's it, man? How's it going? Wow. Great things. I hear great things about you. The world outside tells us that they are hearing great things about us. We also see the world outside get worried when they don't hear good things about us. When they say, yeah, I heard so. Yeah. Very sad. They just heard something about us which makes them happy. They just heard something which makes them feel, oh gosh, this guy's losing. But what about this guy? This guy who's going to be throughout that journey. In fact, again, on flights, some magical moments have happened to me, magical thoughts. So I remember one day I was coming back from Hyderabad after a very long schedule. I was so tired. I just felt that I'll remain like a log for the next 4 days that I was home. And then suddenly, as I landed, I said, hello. What wrong has Pilu and Mowgli what wrong have they done to deserve a tired father, a tired husband to come home and not willing to do anything? I said that my life is not going to be like a sensex. When I'm happy, everybody at home is happy. When I'm sad, everybody at home is sad. I will need to have a journey which is very personal for me. And my family journey is very personal, very personal. My personal journey is very personal. In that journey, I really want a lot of happiness each day, irrespective of whether my films have worked or not, whether the next job has worked out or not, whether I've reached really heights or no. I really want that to be filled with happiness. I therefore need to nurture myself. And I cannot be dependent on somebody else's view about, do I deserve to be happy or not? How will it be? How will it be if I can replace my striving for success with me being happy? Because in the pyramid, there are very few at the top. Very few. Very few who are known, well known. Very few. It tapers, it tapers, it tapers. Very few right at the top. Let's face it, success according to the world will be with few. Few people will be known. There'll be billions at all points who will remain unknown, who will not be successful by someone's yardstick. On the other hand, happiness, it can be spread out. It's available to all. Available to all if we want to reach out to it. If I can recognize the value of myself, again, the conversation is back to myself. If I can recognize the value of myself, if I can really value myself, and I say, hey, I want to be happy each day en route. I am moving from here to there. En route, I will be happy. You can tell me whether I have reached there or not. You can tell me where I have reached, but you will not determine how I am wherever I am. It's an interesting one. Because remember, we are all about recognition. We want the nod from others. We are naughty people. We human beings are naughty. Oh, yes. We are naughty. Oh, I want the child in us remains. Except that as we grow up, we don't get to whine in public. We don't get to cry. We get to sulk. We have become big enough not to seek help. We get into our narrowness, those narrow, dark rooms of ourselves. But forget about others. We are whipping ourselves for not having achieved what we told others that we will. But we had even boasted to others that we will. Remember, we had to boast, we had to show, we had to tell them, because that was the sign we were wanting for. We wanted an acknowledgement. We wanted to be party to that elite group, that club. And now we are just somehow wanting to remain in that elite club. It's a bit like you get those gold standard accounts in banks, and then you have a minimum balance. and then you have a minimum relationship. I have seen myself struggling to maintain that relationship just so that I can get that. Oh, Mr. Vidyarthi, please come in. Yes, please sit. So why don't you just come in? Yes, this is the visitor. I am causing it. I am causing it. Just checking with you. Are you seeing yourself at the source of that search, that urge? I'll tell you something which, a game that I play with myself. Because I'm an actor, I communicate. I'm all about being there, right there. I'm all about just checking, like, do you like to be judged? Do you like to be judged? I'm asking you. You can say yes, or you can say no. If you speak the truth, you may say no. Do you like being judged? No, not many of us like being judged. But we love to judge. Right now, I am being judged. Let's face it, if you're in the game of doing something bigger than you ever thought, you will be judged. Now comes the interesting part. If I am going to be judged, can I make my journey not dependent on the result of that judgment? Can I have a bigger initiative happening within me which others don't even know of? Imagine the prize that I'm working for is not known to the world. Imagine if the treasure I'm heading to, or rather the treasure that I'm carrying and I'm revealing from within me, I have gotten it even en route rather than waiting to reach there. Just imagine. Imagine you're sipping life en route. You're not waiting to reach there and then to glug. You're not reaching there to then consume. You're not going there to then to enjoy with yourself and your family, but you are doing it drip by drip by drip by drip. Nurturing. Because I'm very clear, my friend, I don't deserve to feel smaller. Why? I am legit because I'm born, because I'm alive, because I'm around. I do matter. How will I, and why will I allow even myself to ever doubt why I am around? Why will I write myself off? Why? Just because I'm not meeting somebody else's yardstick or even the yardsticks that I started playing for? How am I looking at it? What am I saying about it? What am I saying about my today? Am I saying interesting things about it? Am I saying things that I got? Am I gifting myself happiness? Am I gifting myself victories each day? Today I'm at Kochi, at a dear friend's house. They just moved into this place. It's a very beautiful place. It's their dream place. I have dropped by here to be with them. I am partaking in this happiness. I'd never dreamt of this. I'd never planned this. But today I am here. I'm gifting myself happiness, dear friend. Have you heard the term that I'm happy for you? I'm at Anand and Samira's place and say, Anand and Samira, I'm happy for you. I've discovered that I'm happy. I am happy. Because happiness is one large space of oxygen, which has got enough for everyone. I don't need to be happy for you. I can be happy for what you have done. Happiness, unlike success, does not need somebody else to lose. A whole lot of victory is to do with somebody else's defeat. Happiness for me is that amazing thing which everyone can partake in. It's one large, large possibility which is happening. When I can be happy, when I can be happy as you achieve, when I can really look at how the world is changing, how the world is asking for different things from where I started, how the world is asking me to discover more things for myself, I can be happy en route. I will not waste time discussing what you should or could, or what the world should and could. I've discovered that typically I don't argue with life. It doesn't help. Remember, a lot of people talk about, don't tell me last minute. Don't tell me last minute. Please don't tell me last minute. I would have come, but you called me last minute. No, no. Meri izzat hai yaar. I'm somebody who's respectful. You can't take me for granted. Life happens last minute, my friend. Death too comes unannounced. We don't argue with that. It happens. And how come? How come I'm ready to argue with opportunity, argue with things that are happening around me, another human being reaching out to me? I am not waiting to. Waiting to is boring. En route, doing it, being party to it. Because your and my journey is where we are met today. You in different parts of the world, I am here, different parts of career, different parts of relationship, different parts we are. We've got different levels of achievement already with our different bank accounts, different status of relationships. At each stage, can I be happy? Can you be happy? Success is something which somebody else can check on your bank account. Happiness is something which you and I know how we are. If you're able to bring a smile to someone else's face, if someone else can bring a smile to ours, now we are talking about the journey. This is a journey in which there are no winners, there are no losers, there are gainers all around. There is pain around us. How will it be if I can be around? Not just to give a shoulder, bata kya dard hai tera. Tell me what is your pain. Rather than saying that, hey, tell me, what can we do together to create something amazing? Because this is how it is right now. Yes, by the standards, you are unsuccessful. Yes, by the standards, you have debt. Yes, there are things that you need to pay for. I have gone through it, so have you. Some amazing decisions I've taken in my life is there when I had to pay money at a point in my life. When I needed to pay that money, I had to earn money. I made choices. I was clear that I will do things legally, but I chose some things to do to pay the bills, which I was not very happy with, but I was clear I needed to pay the bills because I was ethically working. I had made choices about the kind of work that I started to do because I needed to pay that money. But I got that was part of my deal. Life at that point needed me to pay the bills. I did. Because I've discovered in life, my friends, that dreams need to be paid for, so I don't complain about it. Just because I did not get it on time doesn't mean that I should be unhappy till I get it. I may die at this moment, so can you. I'm clear that I don't want to wish you an unhappy point of death. My mother-in-law, Mrs. Shakuntala Barwa, she says this beautiful thing. I'm just trying to paraphrase it. She said, if I can't die at this moment, might as well die. If I'm so unfulfilled that I cannot die at this moment, then might as well die. Because when will I be fulfilled? When? What am I waiting for? Interesting thing, let's face it, human beings, you and I, we are not used to excess. We're used to something less. When we have something less, we are very happy. You know how we're humble, we're nice, we're kind. We get excess, something happens to us. We start behaving like royalty. We become unkind. We are rude. Our behavior changes. We look down upon people. Excess is not what human beings are used to. We are used to having slightly less than what we want. Look around yourself. I'm not joking. Check this out. As long as I'm hungry, I stay very honest with my work. I know the day I become arrogant, I would have enough in my head. I don't allow the enoughness to come into my head. I don't allow the enoughness and the excess come into my head. I look at each day of me as a delivery guy, delivering each day, delivering for my family, delivering for my friends, delivering for myself, delivering for my clients, delivering for my director, each day delivering awesomeness. I don't take myself for granted. This conversation is of a working professional. I'm very clear that for me, life is happening right now. It cannot wait, as I said, it cannot wait for the Kalinga to happen at the end of my life for me to see the pointlessness of it. In fact, there is no pointlessness of it. It's just choices that we are making. We want to say that, hey, listen, I didn't realize. Of course you realize it, my friend. There are no free lunches in life. I've discovered this, that if there are those, if I'm wanting the nods, if I'm wanting those things, then I'll have to pay the fee for it. Some years back, I said that I do not want membership of such clubs, membership of such groups, which make me want to do something which is wannabe, which is more of a pretense rather than how I am. I love human beings as they are expressing themselves through their life, through their experiences, through their creations. And such a varied set of people I've discovered. A varied set of people get to meet me. I get to meet them. I'm richer each moment. I don't have a set. I have people, human beings, offering their humaneness in their unique ways to me. Happiness is, my friend, is about being fulfilled. And therefore, for me, success is being happy each day. Really happy. Feeling nurtured that I did a good day's work. At the end, at the end of the day, if I can look back and say, wow, never thought I could, man. Was it tiring? Oh, yes, it was. It was a good, tired day. If you notice that my voice is playing up, yes. Because, over the last 2 days, we did the first in-person events in Bombay. What an experience it was. At the Renaissance, Powai, in front of people. I lit it up. I was like on fire. I was creating it. I heard it. Fantastic part of life. Today, I'm having a lot of warm water here in Kochi. I will get this right. But I'll not regret it. In fact, any regret that you have, any regret that I have, you know what I do? Share that with you. I replace regret with action. I've discovered that when I replace regret with action, it alters how I'm looking at things. I only give things that inspire me. The thoughts that don't inspire me, I let them go. Even though at times they make me feel good. They make me feel sorry for myself. They make me feel that how good I am, but the world is not good. I deserved it more than them, I don't like being a victim. That's what I wish to people in life. How about gifting yourself being the victor each day en route? Wasn't success about being the victor? How about getting that I don't need to reach to be a victor? I experience victory each day because I am adding some amazing, meaningful things to life. When I'm adding value to others, when I'm adding value to my, beginning with me, adding value to myself, adding value to people around me, adding value to more larger circles, reaching out to more people just with my work. I have to experience my victory. Yes, there are few at the top, but remember, happiness can be for all. It does not matter whether you fit into their paradigm. New paradigms are going to be created by each one of us, dear friends. Pay your bills. Pay your bills and live for your happiness. And you will discover that your happiness is when people light up in front of you with whatever work that you do. Success for me is parameters set by others. Happiness is a personal experience. For me, this conversation is about happiness. Because happiness is why I started striving for success. Success is a quotient that somebody else has. Happiness is my quotient. It's a quotient that even the unread has. They will not define. I will define. It's about me juggling with my mind. Saying that, hey Ashish, as you slipped, what did you gain today? Remember, you and I want victories. Remember, you and I are not mathematical numbers. We are not probabilities. We are possibilities. There are people who have got reams of material and saying that what is the probability of you making it? What is the probability that you who have not made it till now will ever make it? There are probability conversations. I remember I told you I do not have any relationship with mathematics, but I have a relationship with possibility. With a possibility conversation, wherever you are, wherever I am, there is a possibility of us creating something amazing with our life. I subscribe to the possibility conversation. Because when I have a possibility playing out in front of me, I have hope. When I have hope, then I look forward to that morning, look forward to that tomorrow. What else do I need? That's my jijivisha, my will to live. It begins with communication, me communicating with myself, because the world is communicating with me. The world is communicating with you. The world is saying all sorts of things. Therefore, you have to rise above that chatter and say to yourself and say to others, I wish to create something amazing, and I will share with you as I do it. I am invested in my happiness, dear friend. My today is invested in my future. So if that future is something that you really wish for, that amazing thing that you wish to achieve, you're doing it right now, because that step that you are taking today is part of the critical part of that. So therefore, for me, each day is a possibility of amazing happiness. Each day, I am invested into my future, and my success and this happiness needs no one to be defeated. As my parents passed away, they still didn't have a car, but they had happiness and they had me. I wish you all the very best as you get happiness where you are right now. Al Shukran Bandhu. Al Shukran Zindagi. I'm open to questions.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Victory to us all, happiness to us all. And we do have a lot of questions. Thousands of people are watching this and they have been sending in questions. Maybe we won't have time for each and every one of them, but can we start with a question from Sanjeev Bakshi from Hyderabad? And he says that, sir, as you mentioned in your conversation about reality, journey, and discovery, he found that very interesting. And he says that if we can know something more about the reality within, the journey within and the discovery, that discovery beyond which there is no need to discover further.
Okay, so last thing first.
Okay.
Hopefully you will never ever reach a place where there is no need to discover anything. But probably there's no need, but there are things, there is stuff to discover. But yes, the internal journey is the journey of the seeker. The seeker is wanting to discover something more about myself. I really find each one of us an extraordinary reservoir which is yet to be tapped into. So hopefully your journey will never stop. The only thing is that that personal journey has nothing to do with the outward one. Again, being an actor, being a professional, I will tell you that your dreams need to be paid for. So each one of us needs to make sure that we pay the bills for all the people, all the responsibilities that we have. Having said that, these two need not be two separate journeys. You can have continuous self-discovery and meaningful growth, even as you are doing something amazing, creating value for the outside. The critical part for me is the first ability for yourself to have belief in yourself. We've been bombarded with so many realities by the outside. It's very difficult for us to even believe in having that internal journey along with the outside one. So begin with belief and the rest shall follow.
Wonderful answer. Perhaps the greatest bombardment to our self-belief is the pandemic. And that brings us to our next question. We have this question that the name is not mentioned. How can we get support from within to deal with the pandemic situation and all the negatives that follow?
Within is all there is, my friend. There is this beautiful thing, which is you. And you, in any case, have been dealing with it. We have to also understand that you've been doing okay. You've been doing okay. It's you to get that. This is an amazing scenario which has happened. But you also have to get that even before March 2020, we had our own issues. Post 2022, when probably this thing will subside, there'll be more things which will come up. And this is going to remain with us. This guy is going to remain with us. And it's again my ability to grow myself, be willing to learn more about me. For example, this period would have taught you, because it has taught me. I never knew that I could cope with this. I'm a traveler. 8 months I didn't leave my flat. My flat in Mumbai, I didn't leave for 8 months. I never thought I could do that. And during that time, I created stuff. Some amazing work that we did at Avid Miner. You must check out our website, avidminer.com. We did some amazing work. We said that we will continue to move even though physically we aren't. So that person has got amazing things. Sometimes it's a bit like I call it the toothpaste moment, or a tube moment. When it's pressed, it comes out. Otherwise, it just lies within unused. So do look at this as a blessing. You know why? Because that's what you got. Everything that has happened to you is a blessing, dear friend. You may not have asked for it, but you got it. Remember, life is not all the things that you ask for, but what you make of what comes your way. This pandemic has come our way, and we will make the most of it.
True. Another point which our friends all over the world, they have, different questions, but they basically add up to one question. And so I would sort of use this generic question for you. You have talked about the personal journey and the journey, the outside one. Now, if we look at it in this way, that the outside journey is about material success, and the personal journey is about uh, going somewhere at a particular point of spirituality. How is it possible that there shouldn't be any conflict between the two?
Yeah, but there isn't any conflict. First of all, get this. The conflict is created by us. Who said that the
Right.
outside journey is only about material things, so therefore not so? No. Outside thing is because outside thing is for recognition. The very reason that I am here this time, or anyone else is here on this platform, is because they are recognized. It's because of the outside journey. As human beings, let's face it, there are some things that you wish to do in life, okay? You and I want to do something amazing with our life, right? You realize very soon that even as you start believing in yourself and you want to do it, you can't do it alone. And therefore, you need others. So as you want to amplify your impact, you get that you need to tell your story and get more people on board. In the journey of life, my friend, we are not alone. We've got billions around. As we can capture the imagination of others, the thing that you believe in is going to add what they believe in. And that's when an amplified new reality gets created. So the internal journey is the fuel which each one of us at different parts of the world that we are in, each one of us has our internal journey. That internal journey is the necessary fuel which separates you from anyone around. Value that. Now start sharing what you wish to do to the world. As more people join you, you will add to their dreams, they will add to their, and that's why we get to amplify. So what are platforms like this? Such platforms are people are coming and sharing certain inner things. Some of the things that I say may have lit up something for you. I just shared something which is dear to me, which is my personal. I'm sure some of that is close to you. As you join, as you and I meet, as we amplify, we can reach out to many more. The name of the game in life is movement, except that there are two kinds of movement. One, that internal journey is going deep within, sourcing yourself, and the other movement is reaching out, because there's the entire world of possibility around. All right, and so that's something which I believe in. Reaching out, reaching within, and then reaching out. That's the possibility that is created when you can tell your story powerfully to the world.
Right. Thank you so much. But one more question, because this is from Yunus Mansoor, who's writing from Jaipur in Rajasthan. And the question is perhaps the most asked question in the world. In the midst of chasing after success, in the midst of our pursuit of spirituality, how do we achieve peace?
Yeah. Chase. Make sure that you don't have that. Chase will make sure that there'll be rest, you'll be anxious.
Constantly.
How about really looking that we are there? Okay. In us is that uniqueness which the world wants. If you really want to be amazingly successful, then have the ability to use your innate uniqueness, add that to your work, which I call adding the tadka of yourself, adding that tinge of you to your work. The world needs work. World needs service. To that service, add your bit, and therefore you will find that you journey. This is not about reaching. This is not about the reached, the touched, achieved. This is
The
about
target.
wing. This is about achieving. This is about journeying. This is present continuous. And if we can continually experience being nurtured during rather than waiting to get nurtured after we have reached, so we will discover that each day is a day we are looking forward to. So keep nurturing. Please be in the present continuous and be okay with slipping and getting up also. All right.
Right. Thank you so much. There were many more questions, but time is limited on both ends. And we would just like to inform you that we absolutely enjoyed every one of us. I mean, these are the messages that come pouring in. Yesterday, we had about 8,500 people views of this. And today we are still counting. The numbers are mounting. And you have definitely contributed to the popularity of this platform. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you so very much. Keep traveling, dear friends. Thank you so much. And it's 4 p.m. where I am, or 5 p.m. Thank you so
5
much.
p.m.
Cheers.
Right.